Hello, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me okay. I am just kind of getting my mic ready. I see my red dot up, so I think I am good and I am live and I am excited to talk to everybody here tonight a little bit about something that I have been working on because I just feel like it's like the one thing that has been missing for so long in the Challenger journey. So tonight, I plan to share a little bit about something that I've been working on behind the scenes and actually had my husband helping me with as well. After I just kind of hit this like hiccup with just some things that I was doing in my business and my challenge groups, and I just knew that there was a piece that was missing to it. And so tonight I'm going to kind of walk you through what that looked like to get to the point where we knew that we needed to change something. We knew that something was not quite clicking. And we knew that we had all the tools, but there was just a piece that was missing a little bit. And it wasn't until I kind of stumbled upon it that I realized this is what it is, and this is what's missing, and I can't wait to bring that to my challengers. So tonight, I'm going to share with you a little bit of information about my journey, how I started, and I'm also going to share with you a little bit about what the elimination experience looks like, and if you're a good fit for it, because this might not be the plan for you. So if you would turn your attention, I am going to share my screen, and I'm going to apologize in advance for the mess that you might see on my desktop. It's a little bit crazy. But tonight I just want to walk you through if this elimination experience is something that is for you. So a little bit of background. My name is Katie. I am a 35-year-old mom of two boys. They're actually upstairs. My husband got called into a meeting this evening, and I basically said to them, "You guys, we're gonna go to bed a little bit later. I'll let you watch TV in my room tonight while I'm doing this call." Anyways, my kids are 7 and 4, and my husband and I have been together for about 12 or 13 years. And the picture you see on the left is actually right after we got engaged, and the picture on the right was taken just a couple of months ago at an event out in Las Vegas. And I think I need to tell you a little bit of background about just how I came to be where I am in my business. And as I lifestyle coach and as I mentor hundreds of women on their weight loss journey, it really started with my own weight loss journey. You see, I spent a lot of my life being incredibly uncomfortable in my skin. I remember being in 4th grade, hearing the word "you are fat" for the first time, and never really thinking that of myself. But I started to see that other kids were seeing me that way. And it kind of skews your own perception of yourself. And even at that young age, I remember my mom and I having a conversation, and she said, "You know, Katie, you aren't thin, but you have a really good heart." And that kind of was one of those triggers for me that maybe I'm just meant to be, you know, a little bit bigger, and maybe I am just supposed to look a certain way, but I'm still a good person. And so it kind of started this trigger of how I felt about food. So the next few years of my life, probably from the age of about, I would say, around 10 to about 30. So that's, oh gosh, that's a long time. That's about 20 years of my life I spent in the yo-yo mindset. And I don't know if that's you. I don't know if I'm speaking to somebody who just has been there, but I was that girl that would take comfort in the snack cabinet. I would go long hauls without eating and then eventually just devour food. Or I would be feeling sad or upset or anxious about an upcoming test, and I would always find the satisfaction and this need to eat would alleviate whatever temporary pain or whatever temporary sort of issue I was sort of working through at the time. So I just started understanding and understanding that for me, food was comfort. It was a way for me to kind of block emotions. It was a way for me to sort of deal with the things that I was going through. And I would just be in this yo-yo mindset. And so I would gain a few, I would lose a few, and then I would gain a lot, and then I would lose a lot, and then I would gain a lot more back. So I was never really somebody who was ever at a stable weight. And in fact, I was really obsessed with that scale. But if I ever found that the scale was just not going in my favor, I would hide it for months, and I would just let my genes tell me when it was time to go into the next fad. And by fad, I mean a lot of unhealthy things. I would be doing my diet pills. I would be drinking 3 shakes a day and not have any idea what the ingredients in those shakes were. I would go to extremes where I wouldn't eat or consume a lot of calories and really trigger and do a lot of hard cardio. And I just remember feeling at one point a few years ago that something had to change. And so that change came with an infomercial I saw on TV of a workout, and it looked insane. And in fact, it was insane. It was insanity. And I decided to order it. And I ordered it, and I started working out on my own. And unfortunately, at that time, when I started working out on my own, I had no understanding of nutrition. I had no understanding of how food actually impacts you, and how food really works in your favor when you're trying to lose weight. You see, I always had this mindset that if I just don't consume a lot of calories, but if I burn a lot of calories, then I'll lose weight faster. And what I found was that's really incredibly unhealthy. And when I was doing the program, I was sick. I had a lot of headaches. I remember going to a doctor who specifically was working with me through my headaches and called them exercise-induced headaches. And he said, Katy, you need to eat more food. And I didn't want to do that, because in my head, I just didn't have a healthy perception of how nutrition and how food really comes together when it comes to your fitness. And it was very much by chance, after I had finished that fitness program and was dealing with those headaches, that I understood that there was something called an accountability group. And that group could help me understand nutrition while I was on my fitness journey. And that is when I was first introduced to what I do now and have been doing for well over 5 years. And that is mentor people in a healthy way to achieve their health and fitness goals. And I really want to emphasize in a healthy way, because I truly feel like if we don't have our health, what do we have? And I really want you to think about that for a couple of minutes. Is your health is your number one priority. And I've worked with and talked to so many women who they make everything else a priority in their life, their kids or their job or their spouse, and they pour all of this energy and this love and this attention into the world around them, and there's so little left for themselves. And I came up with this idea a few years ago, something I call 6 a.m. selfish. And it helps me to be a better mom when I have 1 hour of a 24-hour day that is solely devoted to me taking care of me. And I truly feel that you can't pour from an empty cup. There's this analogy that I remember hearing, about a year ago when I was at Tony Robbins. And he gave this analogy of, when you're on an airplane and the announcers and the PA is going over what you have to do in case of emergency, what's the first thing that they say? And the very first thing that they say to you is you have to put your mask on first, because you can't take care of other people. You can't save the world around you unless you are first taking care of yourself. You have to put that oxygen mask on first for you. And that's what I started doing. Is I started really focusing on myself. I started focusing on my overall health. I started focusing on nutrition and understanding how my body was adjusting to certain foods. And I started really digging into my own workouts and my own journey, and not focusing on what everybody else was doing around me. But not so much about, fitness is hard, but the simple fact that, I was able to do it. And that culminates with the fact that a couple years into my fitness journey, as I was taking care of myself and as I was in a good state of health, I was also diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And during that treatment, I still made it a priority that if my feet hit the floor and I had the energy and I was blessed enough to be able to sweat, I was going to do it. And so along with, understanding my background of being overweight and dealing with weight issues, and then understanding how I felt when I was at the top, the peak of my health, and what it was like to be incredibly weak, where I didn't know if I would have the energy to work out in the morning, I started to realize that the elimination plan is so much more than weight loss. It really is about getting to the heart of why we struggle with weight loss in the first place. Why do we struggle with making habits that are going to make us healthier? Why do we struggle with those things? And it's because I really sometimes think that we don't believe that we are truly worthy of taking that time for ourselves. And so that's what makes the elimination plan different than anything I've ever done. And so I want you to think about this. I want you to just kind of, in your mind right now, I want you to think about, is this me? Is this me? Do you ever say to yourself, I'm going to start this Monday? And so, you have this great weekend, you maybe drink some wine or you have some cake, or maybe you go all out knowing that Monday is the day that you devote to change. Or are you, January 1st, you bought that new diet book, it sat on your shelf and you're like, I am going all in. This is the year that I am going to change. Are you constantly telling the people around you that you're off track and that you need to get off track? Or are you finding yourself in the break room saying, I can't have cake, I'm on another diet, and you have this negative feeling of what health is? Or maybe you're at work or in the gym, or you're at a party and you find yourself comparing your body to the other women around you. Or maybe she's thinner, or maybe she's taller, or maybe that dress, I wouldn't look that good in that dress. And before you know it, you fall into this wave of comparison. And the most important question I have to ask you is, do you define your worth by a number on a scale? And that's the question I want you to think about for a couple of minutes as we're on this call. When you step on the scale, does that number have the ability to make or break your day? Does it have the ability to say to you, like, you are worthy, it's going to be a great day? Or does it kind of put you in this spiral of negativity because you don't like what you see? Do you allow that number to justify and define the type of person you're going to go out and be because you believe that number? You believe that you are worthy because of that number. Do you have a number in your mind that you think will just give you happiness? Do you think it all is going to be about happiness when you reach a certain number? I think if any of these kind of ring true, that the elimination plan is something that you just don't look into, but you say, I'm going to embrace this, and I'm going to learn a little bit more about what this is about, and how I can also get results with something like this. So let me talk about a couple other things that are really key in the elimination plan. I'm going to take a quick swig of water. Hold on one second. I thought about all the things that I sort of carry in my life, all the things that I have that sort of weigh on me. And it's so much more than just food and nutrition. It's really about the way I live my life, the energy that I put out, and the people that come into my life. And you only have so much energy to give, right? There was somebody who described it as almost as if there's a button on your desk, right? So you have a button on your desk and you can only press that button like 10 times throughout the day. And every time it's pressed, you know that you're one step closer to losing a little bit more energy, right? And that's exactly what we have when we have people pressuring us and putting things on us and telling us that we need to get certain things done. And we have people just whispering negative thoughts into our mind, or maybe it is social media. And we find that this energy sort of soaks into our being and kind of takes over, and we just start to question our worth. We start to question if we just really think that we can be successful at any of this. And so the elimination plan goes a lot further than just weight loss. It goes a lot further than just telling you the foods to eat and the foods not to eat. It goes further than just telling you what workout to do, what time to do it. We're also going to dig into removing the things from our life that are draining us. You know, removing the things that make us anxious, removing toxic energy, removing our excuses that we have put on ourselves, those bars we put on ourselves, and those things that we have said to ourselves about why we can't be successful. We're going to remove that addiction to sugar. And notice I called it an addiction because I know that addiction. That is the addiction that I myself have had. We're going to remove our self-doubt. We're going to remove those hold you back habits. And we're going to eliminate all the things that aren't helping you evolve. And we're going to watch all the reasons you think that you can't succeed turn into the fuel that changes your health, your mindset, and your fitness. I want to also let you know that I'm not a nutritionist and I'm not a fitness expert, but I am somebody who has successfully been coaching others for the past 5 years and somebody who has successfully been able to keep my weight off for the past 5 years. I am vocal about this because I do believe that your health is your #1 priority. But it starts with this idea that it has to mean more to us than just what the number on the scale says. So in an elimination plan, you're going to get 30 days of nutrition, you're going to get 30 days of fitness, and you're going to get 30 days of mindfulness. And let me explain a little bit more about what that might look like to you. All right, so I have this image here and just a little bit of background about what makes this different. I have run groups and I have focused on motivation, I've focused on support, I've focused on the accountability. But mindfulness takes it to a whole nother level because we aren't just going to talk about the reasons that we want to lose weight. We're going to talk about the reasons we struggle with the weight in the first place. So this isn't about a number. This is about the person you deserve to take care of the most. It's about creating that habit of making yourself the #1 priority so you can start taking better care of the people around you. And so there are a couple readings that we're going to do within our group that I'm going to share with you. You're also going to get, of course, you're going to get me as a daily coach. I'm going to be in there every day alongside you. Daily motivation, and my Monday mindset, which I'm very excited to be able to give. We're going to talk about nutrition. I'm going to have meal plans for you, grocery strategies for you, tips, support, recipes, all of that. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to start identifying some of the triggers that we struggle with in our own weight loss. And we're going to talk about grace. You know, this isn't about being so rigorous that when we fail or we have a small setback or when things don't go the way we plan, we want to throw in the towel. It's about understanding what happened to get us to that point and what that trigger was so that when we become more aware of it, we know how we can sort of stop it in its tracks. And we're also going to make sure that you are paired with a fitness program that you actually enjoy. You know, a lot of times we can fall into this fitness thing and think, oh, I hate cardio, I hate running, or, you know, I don't love weightlifting. And we just assume all fitness is created equal. And it's really not. It really is something that you have to learn how to fall in love with. And that comes with the Netflix of fitness. And that means you are going to have all levels of all interests at your fingertips, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right from your mobile device or your devices at home. All right, so I guess the next natural question that we're gonna have is, well, what is the Elimination Toolkit investment? So first of all, with this, there are a couple of different pricing options, but the Elimination Toolkit investment is gonna actually take a couple of things into consideration. So number one, you're gonna get a 1-year virtual gym membership with this. So you are going to have access to what's called Beachbody On Demand. And this is basically it's a streaming device where you can log into your account and you are going to have access to literally hundreds of workouts at your fingertips. So if you try one workout and you're like, it's just not me, I don't really love it, there are going to be hundreds more for you in that catalog so you can find the workout that best fits your needs, your fitness level, and your interest level as well. You're also going to get your first month of my superfood shake that I have been taking for over 5 years now daily. I actually don't miss it. This is not going to be a diet shake. This is not a simple protein shake. This is an overall nutrient-dense shake. So what I want to explain to you here is that while we are on our fitness journey and while we're on our weight loss journey, a lot of times, like I mentioned to you at the beginning of the call, we're going to be really tempted to cut calories. And when we're tempted to cut those calories, we often cut nutrients. And when we cut nutrients, our body starts to wonder where they're all going, and it's going to start searching for it. So your body can want to hold on to stored up fat. And so what Shakeology does, what our superfoods does, is it promotes long-term health. It promotes long-term weight loss because your body is getting the nutrients it needs for a healthy way of losing weight. There's a lot more that I'm going to be educating you on throughout the group about why this is such a critical part of the elimination plan and why fueling your body is really helping you eliminate other things within your system that you might not even be aware of that have been causing you, issues within your own digestive tracts as well. Weekly meal plan and grocery shopping strategies. You're going to get that right to your device, right to your email. You are going to get weekly meal plans and grocery tips so that you can hit the grocery store ready for success. You're going to get Monday mindset tutorials. You're going to get membership into the Elimination community, and you're going to, of course, get my daily coaching. This is $5 a month. $5 a day for your first month, and it breaks down even lower to $4 a day for month 2 and beyond, and that will cover all of this. So a lot of people ask me, well, what if I want to be in the elimination community for longer than 30 days? Absolutely. And honestly, most of my challengers are, and most elimination experience participants are. It's that your first 30 days allows you to sort of get used to what it means to be on this journey. And it gets you used to what it's like to work with a virtual community of people and my system of meal planning and, how your body is going to react to your daily nutrients through the superfoods as well. And there is a discount opportunity available as well. If you're interested in that, you can reach out to me. All right, so how are you going to enroll in this? So it's super easy. You just reach out to me and you say, all right, Katy, I want to be enrolled in the elimination plan. Now, the elimination plan community is actually open right now. We haven't officially started. We actually are going to officially start on the 29th. And you are going to have an entire week of what I call preparation, preparing for your weight loss journey, where you're going to receive a lot of the mindset tools that you need to focus on those long-term results. You place your toolkit order to secure your spot, and then you will receive via email a virtual invitation, and you will click to join the community. Super, super easy, right? All right, so when you get enrolled, this is what you can expect that first week of the 29th. You're going to get a preseason guide that's going to help you understand what is going on. In that guide, you are going to get tools for how to take your measurements, how to clear your pantry, how to go grocery shopping, how to know the difference between healthy foods versus foods that might be tricky and might make you think, well, it must be good because it says diet or low fat or fat free. We're going to cover all of that. We're going to create a schedule for your fitness plan as well. And so we're going to talk about, well, what time of day am I going to be, quote unquote, 6 a.m. selfish? I'm going to take measurements, and then you're going to make sure that your customer account is going to be active. We're going to be making time to educate ourselves on that superfoods that I talked about. The what I will when I lose document. You're going to create your meal plan and your grocery list, and you're going to purchase your personal growth book and a journal for the book to refer to, and I will talk more about that within the group. And then you're going to share this with other people, because isn't fitness more fun when we have friends involved too? And then you're going to ask me about any other supplements that you might have questions about while we're preparing. All of this is going to start the 29th. So if this is something that sounds like, yes, this sounds like exactly what I am looking for, I would encourage all of you guys to reach out. And I just want to show you guys a little tool that I use for my challengers when we talk about elimination. We focus on small wins, we focus on self-care, and we focus on getting enough rest. So those are 3 things that we put a lot of energy and focus into. And I just wanted to give you a little sneak peek into one of the documents that you're going to receive when you sign up about how you're going to create those small wins in your weight loss journey, and how to make sure that you are getting enough rest, because rest is a big part of your weight loss journey and your self-care as well. Not just about creating those small wins, but making sure that you are taking care of yourself as well through this fitness journey. And I thought I would share a couple of images of those who have either enrolled in the challenge group or have worked with me in the past, or are participants in our coaching network who have successfully lost weight with the products and the programs. So when I first was told to follow a program to help me lose weight, no one ever told me the how of losing weight is not nearly as important as the why. I'm a lifetime yo-yo dieter. I've been overweight. I have been thin. I have been a stress eater. I have been a not enough eater. I have been too curvy. I have been too petite. But I think what I am learning is that my measure of worth is never going to be determined by the scale. And my emotions cannot be masked in a tub of Ben and Jeremy. Tomorrow starts day 1 of your elimination plan. I need to be my own test dummy first. But I hope that my story will resonate. I hope my story will allow you to know that you can stop circling the mountain and move north. And these are just a few of the girls that I had mentioned who have participated. The girl on the right, you can see she's actually just hit her 50-pound mark as well. So I got to give her a huge shout out too. All right, so just in closing, and just to help you guys understand the next steps for it, just make sure you're going to get your elimination toolkit. You're going to select your superfood flavor. You're going to make sure your coach is correct and forward that confirmation to be added to the group. Share it with a friend and get ready for an experience that changes everything. Now, if you guys are already working with me, or you have been working with me in the past, and you're already set up, you already have everything you need for it, absolutely no worries. You just need to reach out and let me know that you are ready to join the elimination experience. Please let me know if you have any other questions for me. And I'm so glad, so honored that you took a little bit of time out of your evening to learn more about the Elimination Challenge. And I can't wait to work with you and get to know you and help set you up for success. Bye, guys. Have a great night.